Now, using our numerical data, we are going to talk about how to analyze and interpret our data using mean, median, mode, and range. Just to refer back to what we talked about earlier with categorical data, the only type of data the only measure of center that we can find out of mean, median, mode, and range. The only measure of center that we can find would be the mode out of categorical data, because categorical data are groups and they are not numbers. Okay? But now we're going to talk about finding our mean, median, and mode for our numerical data and how we can determine which one best describes the type of data, the results that we get. First of all, we need to find the mean, and I'm just going to run through this quickly because the numbers are small. So we have 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 16, 19, 23, 27, 31, 36, 41, 46. Okay, and this information was from somewhere early. So that was our data. We stopped at 46. Okay? And we divide that by how many numbers we have, how many data we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So it's 46 divided by 21. 21 goes into 46 2 times. It's 42. We subtract, get a remainder of 4. We said once we get to the end of our numbers, we line up that decimal, which is sitting behind the ones place anyway. We just use it when we need it. Line up the decimal, add a 0. 40 goes into 21, or 21 goes into 40 one time. We subtract and get 19. Add another 0. We also mentioned that for now, we'll just go 3 spaces, go 3 zeros, so that we can round it to the nearest 100. But in order to round it to the nearest 100, we have to go to the thousandths place to see whether it rounds up or stay the same. 21 into 190 would be 9 times, because 20 times 9 is 180. So 21 times 9 will be 189. Get a remainder of 1, add a 0. Okay, 21 into 190 is 189, remainder of 1, add our third 0. 21 into 10, 0 times. So we round that to the nearest 100, and our mean is 2.19. Okay, to find our median, we find the middle number. There are 21 numbers, so that will put 10 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the middle, and we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now if we want to go from both ends and mark out until we reach the middle, that's fine. But 21, half of 20, the closest number would be 20, and half of 20 is 10, so that puts us in the middle. Our mode, the number that appears the most, we have 5 ones. And our range, the largest number minus the smallest, is 5. And now we want to talk about how we use the mean, median, and mode to analyze and interpret our data. Now, for numerical data, it's a little bit different. We we won't use mode because we know that is the best fit. So we want to try to use something else. Now, if the mode looks like most of the data, then that may very well be something that works. But what we want to do is start with the mean, because the mean says, the means is the average, and it says the average person of that group gave that response. Now, if we start with the mean, what the mean says is that the average person gave that results. And here are results of how many pets the students have. The mean says the average person in that group has about 2 pets. And we can go further to say that just about everyone in there would have 2 pets or somewhere close. And if we look at this data, we can see that pretty much all of the data is at 2 or somewhere close. So our mean can actually be used to describe the results and interpret the results of what happened there. Now, if we were to throw in, let's say someone said that they had 24 pets. Now, we can't be really safe to say that everyone, the average person, well, we could say the average person has 2, but we won't necessarily be able to say that everyone is at 2 or close, because we have someone that's very far from that with the 24 pets. So then we want to look at the median. And what the median says is the middle number is 2. 2 people represents the middle, meaning half of the data is lower and half of the data is higher, but about in the middle, that's where that's the number of pets that will represent the group. So when you interpret that, you can say, well, if 2 is in the middle, that means a lot of people have to have less than 2, and there could be a lot of people with more than 2, which is a more accurate than saying everyone is on that number or close to it, which the mean will represent. So if you have an outlier, your median would actually probably be the best way to describe your data. So to review, your mean would best describe your numerical data if you did not have an outlier, because it tells you that everyone is on or close to that mean. The average person is at that number, and everyone is on or close to that mean. If there's an outlier, we want to say that 2, that middle number, shows us that half of the people are above it and half are below it, which will give us, not as a specific generalization, but a pretty accurate one, and that will cover our outliers that are so far ahead. And for our mode, if it's categorical data, that's the only measure center that we can find with categorical data, so that will best describe your categorical data or the results of your categorical data.